Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Marilyn Darling Show, and welcome to another episode of an ink review. How is everyone doing today? Are you having a nice day? I hope you are having a nice day wherever you are in the world. Today we are looking at a purple ink. This one is from Kaweco. Now, I don't know the name of this ink because it's not written on the bottle. Hello, Kaweco. Do better. Write the name of your ink on the bottle. This is Premium Tint Ink Angre Tinta Enchanto Ostro. It has nothing about what the name of the ink is on it. So, how the hell are you supposed to know? Anyway, so I think that this is Kaweco Summer Purple. If it is not, I apologize in advance. But according to the limited research that I could find, I think that this is Kaweco. Kaweco Summer Purple. I may be wrong. I may be completely wrong. So I apologize in advance. But this looks like Summer Purple. So we're going to roll with it. Okay. Here is today's bottle. Came like this. Thanks go out to the OC Pen Club for providing the sample, for providing the bottle for this review. Here is our comparison panel. It's kind of a dark purpley ink. Some little bit of shading in there. Here's our ink swatch. Water resistance test shows it has a little bit of water resistance. I might consider using this on the outside of an envelope. I'm slowly getting over my cough. Thank God. So sick of having the flu. And here is our toilet paper chromatography. All I see is purple, and then there's this black splodge in the middle, which means that it does have a good amount of water resistance. So that's very interesting. Okay, let's do some paper review, shall we? How is everyone doing today? Are you having a nice day? I hope you are having a nice day wherever you are in the world. Alright, this is the Pen and Gear Memo book from Walmart.com. There is no feathering, no bleeding, minimal amount of ghosting. Lightweight Traveler's Notebook paper. No feathering, no bleeding, barely any ghosting. This is super lightweight Traveler's Notebook paper. Little trouble grabbing the page, a little bit of ghosting. Fabriano Eco Qua 85 GSM. No feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. Field Notes Journal. No feathering, a little bit of bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. Moleskin 70 GSM. A little bit of wiggle, blend through the page. Idea Notebook. No feathering, a little bit of bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. Pelican Hub Notepad. No feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. Cult Pens 120 GSM paper. There's a little bit of feathering and a little bit of bleeding and a minimal amount of ghosting. This is 68 GSM Tomoe River. a little bit of shading, no feathering, a little bit of ghosting. Midori MD paper, no feathering, no bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. Cosmo Air Light 75 GSM, beautiful shading, no feathering, no bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. JOt, minimal amount of feathering, a little bit of bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. Office Depot, Office Max. There's only a little bit of wiggle, a little bit of bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. This is the JOt Journal from the Dollar Tree. Beautiful shading, no feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. This is Marmon mnemosyne 80 GSM dot grid. Barely any feathering, no bleeding, barely any ghosting. This is black and red Oxford Optic paper. Barely any feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. This is Handelskompagnie. No feathering, no bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. This is Clairefontaine 90 GSM. No feathering, no bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. This is ayush 100 GSM notebook paper. No feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. Exceed 100 GSM heavyweight paper from Walmart.com. Minimal amount of feathering, a little bit of ghosting. Archer and Olive 160 GSM notebook paper. Minimal amount of feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. New Eco notebook paper. No feathering, a little bit of bleeding, minimal amount of ghosting. I'm gonna sneeze. I made it to the mute button that time. This is the Premier Premium Journal from the 99-cent store. Minimal amount of feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. Excellent. This is the Pen and Gear Poly Composition Book from Walmart.com. No feathering, no bleeding, and minimal amount of ghosting. This is True Red Composition Book from Staples.com. Minimal amount of feathering, little bits of bleeding, and a little bit of ghosting. This is Up and Up Wide Road Composition Book from Target.com. Beautiful shading, no feathering, no bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. This is Apica 81.4 GSM notebook paper. Beautiful shading, no feathering, no bleeding, minimal amount of ghosting. This is Milky Paper from Daiso. Hello, Rockridge. How are you doing today? Little bit of feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. This is the Nanami 7Cs 68 GSM Tomoe River. Beautiful shading, no feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. This is Colored Drawing Paper, Smoky Color from Daiso. Little bit of shading, no feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. Pretty good paper for construction paper. Alright, this is CVS Caliber Filler Paper from CVS Pharmacy. Beautiful shading, no feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. Oxford Notebook Paper. Beautiful shading, no feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. This is original Crown Mill 100 GSM paper. Minimal amount of feathering, a little bit of heavy ghosting in some places. This is HP Premium 32-pound copy paper. Beautiful shading, no feathering, no bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. This is Rhodia Dot Pad 80 GSM. Beautiful shading, no feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. This is Mead 5-star notebook paper. A little bit of feathering, a little bit of ghosting. This is the Pen and Gear heavyweight notebook paper from Walmart.com. Beautiful shading, no feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. My wife recently picked up a summer purple and is enjoying it. But she also bought Roar and Clear Sulfurino, which I prefer. Yes, Sulfurino is a really nice color. This is JNB Copperplate Graph Pad from JohnNeilBooks.com. Actually, Sulfurino is in my favorites file. No bleeding, a little bit of ghosting, tiniest bit. Alright, this is Vintage Mead. Beautiful shading, minimal feathering, no bleeding, a little bit of ghosting though. Oh, there's micro bleeding going on. Well. Okay, let's do a paper comparison panel. I'm like seriously running out of room. I'm gonna have to like split these colors or something. I don't know what to do with it. Lost my marbles. Okay. I don't want to boop the screen like I always do. Alright, this is Kaweco Summer Purple. Next to Monte Grappa Violet. Krishna Golden Summer Blue. Ooh, this one's getting kind of close. This is Diamond Tranquility. No, no. Ooh. This Pelican Violet's getting kind of close. Violet Boreal's getting even closer. This gooseberry's looking kind of close in the swatch. I wish I had another sample of this so I could finish that, make a better swatch card. Diamond Harmony's getting kind of close. Robert Oster Barossa Gilt is getting kind of close. Imperial Purple's not really, kind of close. Pilot Mixable Violets, Venvistas Venetia's getting kind of close. Diamond Amazing Amethyst is kind of close. Noodler's Bay State Grape is kind of close. I thought it might be close to Dark Lilac, but this is more redder. And that's it. Hi, Obs. How are you doing today? How are you? We're just getting finished up. Put that there for a second. So I want to do a little writing sample because today's pen is today's ink is in my arch nemesis, the Sailor 1911 Wicked Witch of the West. This nib is so... Ugh. Actually, I need to take these off. I can't feel my fingers. I'm getting better, slowly but surely. My coughs are down to a minimum. Sailor... 1911... Wicked... Witch... of... the... West. And this has a broad nib in it. And I have smoothed this nib so much because it was just so scratchy when I got it. Unbelievable. I'm like, what did I do with my loop? I forgot that I put my loop with my to-go stuff when I tried to go to the Los Angeles Pen Show. But I made it about a quarter of a mile from my house and realized that I'd forgotten my cough drops and my cough medicine. So turned around, came home, and decided not to go. But so it has come to my attention that when I looked at this nib and all of the Sailor nibs under a microscope, that the tip of let's say that this is a Yovo nib. It's like really smooth, but on the Sailor nib, it's like naturally bumpy, and no matter how much you smooth it, it'll always be bumpy. So it's made of like an imperfect material. It's like made with some sort of rock that's been not properly heated to temperature, or heated in such a way that there's like uneven striae within that metal that's on the end. So no matter what you do to it, it's always going to have some striae within the nib that's going to be imperfect. So the best thing that I did is I took a paper bag. You can do this also. If you have a sailor nib and it's too scratchy, you can take a paper bag from the store, or you can take a cardboard box or whatever and just go like this. Like 10,000 times. Not putting too much pressure, just dragging it will smooth it out. And you might want to look at it underneath a loop, make sure that there's no paper fibers getting in there. But eventually it's going to smooth out on its own. Maybe do a couple of these. And eventually it will smooth out over time. Got a paper fiber. See, now it's pretty smooth. Just do like 10,000 figure eights. Make sure you have a loop, look underneath it, make sure that it's not getting any paper fibers in it or nothing. And then it should be good. Okay, what do we have? I have the Sailor Wicked Witch of the... Love it. Oh, what nib? You have an extra fine. Oh, that's difficult. Now you're wondering if you can get a medium. Yeah, I don't know. I would try, if you feel like it's being scratchy, try doing this a couple of times on just CVS caliber notebook paper, or on the back of like a 3x5 card, something with a little bit of texture with it, like whatever the roughest paper that you have is, even like watercolor paper. Give that a go. And if you have a loop, you can look at it underneath your loop and you can see, where is it? You can look to see if there's any. Hope you can see that there's a fiber in there. See right there, there's a fiber. Gotta get the fiber out. But yeah, try giving it a couple of strokes. Don't put any pressure, just pull it. Pull, 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 pull. And I mean, like, I love the idea behind the Wicked, like this shape. This is the same shape as the Jinhao 992. So if you don't like your Wicked Witch of the West, I wouldn't spend the money on another one. I'm just saying, they're not worth it. Get yourself a Jinhao 992. Because it's the same body shape. Same body shape. This is a Jinhao 992. And they come in multitude of colors. This one costs 99 cents. This one costs like $400. Why? I don't understand. Hello, Kenjin Crafts. How are you, Lau? I just don't understand people who want to spend. I am grateful. Don't get me wrong. This was a gift. But I do not understand why people pay $400 for an imperfect nib. It was so scratchy. I had to do like some severe micro mesh abrasion on it. And then I had to twist and deal with the tines, and then I did like 10,000 strokes on some cardboard, and then I went from cardboard to original crown mill, and then I went from original crown mill to CVS caliber. No, I went to a 3x5 card. Imperfect is so something. I hate this stupid way that they have this set up. There's a stupid heart thing. Do you guys see the stupid heart thing? Is it in your way too? Imperfect is so sent back. Ah, yeah. That's too bad. Yeah, it's just not worth it. If I can't like if I can't like fix the nib myself, or like if I don't feel comfortable, which I do feel comfortable. I mean, I've mucked up nibs. I've mucked up $300 gold nibs before. So you just have to choose acceptance. And like, this was a gift, and it was a wonderful gift. And I finally got it to write smoothly enough anyway. But the same thing happened to my other sailors too. One of these was so bad that when I went to write with it, it literally tore a giant hole in the paper. And I was like, what the hell is going on? The tines were like this. I couldn't believe it. The tines were all like, wah. The big old spine sticking out. I'm like, oops. I got my head turned. Don't miss the boat sail, otherwise it would have likely passed. Yeah, I mean, you know what? I don't understand. And like, these were all gifts. I can't believe the generosity of you guys. But like, I wouldn't have paid $300 for these. No way. One of these was so scratchy. I think it was this one. So scratchy that I couldn't even write with the thing. If you just take your finger and you run it over under the nib, you'll be able to tell if it's got a spiky bit in it. Which is, even if it's like an extra fine nib, you'll be like, ooh, that one way, it's got like a little burr. This one, 14K585, where is the notification? Medium fine. And sometimes the nibs will be like this at the bottom. And so it's like, well, how do you get them to go like this again? Well, sometimes you gotta take pliers to them, and then you risk breaking the nib. And don't do anything that you're not comfortable with. Get a cheap Jinhao nib. They're like 99 cents. You can get a Jinhao 992. You can get a Jinhao 82 for a tenth of the cost, and it'll write nicer. I'm just saying, why would you pay all that money for a nib that's not excellent? like, where are you? I know you're in here. There you are. I got this here, Jinhao 82. It's so much prettier than the others. And then I got a Jinhao 992 with a 0.7. This is a broad nib. And this is like one of the smoothest pens that I have. It's so smooth. They're just really good pens. So I'm just saying, maybe think twice about it. Because this one's nice looking, but... Or is it this one that's supposed to... This one has like the minimalist amount of sparkle. You can't even see it. But this one's like, bam! Look at my sparkle. And you can get... Let's see, how much did I pay for this? Jinhao 82. I got this Jinhao 82 for $8. But you can get one of every size of the Jinhao 992, which is the same size as the 1911S. You get probably 100 of these for the price of this one pen. Now, I'm not saying that they're going to be excellent, but they're sure better than whatever this was cost. Rant over. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, you know, if you're gonna charge people for a $500 and up pen, I better write the most smoothest thing on the face of the planet. When I got my Leonardo Memento Magico, like that was the smoothest nib I'd ever felt in my whole life, and it was only $200. Like, the nib alone was worth $200. It was so smooth. I don't know. Anyway, I'm rambling on. Rambling on. My heart is an eyesore. It pretty much hasn't nib fine, but the piston ring fell out. Oh no! Oh, my sailor's ring over. The biscuit. Yeah, that's too bad. You sent it back, so you'll have to let us know if you get are you gonna get a replacement, or are you just gonna not? And like, let me tell you, I understand the hype. I understand that there is a certain aesthetics to the look of the pen. But if I have learned anything in the last 5 years that I have been back in the fountain pen hobby, is that don't let the look of a pen outweigh the cost. Because sooner or later, Jinhao or Mahjong or one of those cheaper companies will come along and they will make a pen exactly like that pen. I was gonna save this, but I gotta tell you right now, I am really cross about this year's Pelican pens. So recently I just bought a pen called an AMOC M800, which is exactly the same pen as an M800 Pelican. Oops, wrong button, sorry. So this is the AMOC M800 acrylic piston fountain pen. You can get it with a Schmidt or a Bach nib from AliExpress for $59.99. It's slightly expensive. But if you look at the Pelican Classic M200 Orange, they want $208 for the same thing. I do not understand why you would pay that much for that pen. It doesn't make any sense to me. And don't get me wrong, don't get me twisted. I have a Pelican. I don't like it. This is the M205. Or is it the M200? Whatever the Golden Barrel version was. Does it say? Germany. Pelican. That's all it says. Doesn't say the model number. But like, I can't take the piston out to grease it. Like, I don't understand people that don't allow you to disassemble their pens. Like, I can take the nib out and I can run some silicone grease around it with a Q-tip. But like, what if I get Q-tip fibers in there? What if it like starts to leak into the barrel behind the piston? What does one do then? I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. I think all pens should be able to be hand disassemblable. That's just my personal private thought, but also I think that this piston could go back farther, because that's not very much ink right there. Anyway, I do like that it untwists with only a quarter of a rotation though. That's its only draw. So if you're in a hurry, I mean, it's great for that. It's a medium. Thinking thoughts about getting this one a broad nib, because the medium's just a little too medium for me. Anyway, okay, now I'm done. I'm done rambling. So, that's all I've got for today. I want to thank you all for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed this one. I hope that you learned something. Please share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media. Like, comment, subscribe, ring the little bell. Make sure it's set to all, so when I upload new content, YouTube notifies you. Don't forget to check out my new website. Join our calligraphy class. Check out the paper reviews page. Join the Discord. Share your pens and inks and paper with us. And if you'd like to save 10% off on Atlas Stationers or Pen Boutique, click the link in the description. I am an affiliate with both of these, and you'll be helping me out. And you will also get a little discount. So, that's all I've got for today. Have a great day. Okay, love you, bye.